everyone. It's Wula McLaughlin here from Reaching for the Stars Children's Foundation. Thanks for joining us today. Today is actually very special to me personally for many reasons. Beside me, you see a screen there, and it's my mom and my dad, Foti and Anastasia. And I have them here for a very important reason. Number one, I want to share the story of my dad because he was a boy who was sponsored by a Canadian man in 1956. And I think it's really important to bring this kind of story to light because now he's heading into his 70th year, and to have that kind of perspective to share with you how the generosity of a sponsor, of a donor, affects someone's life and into the next generation is very important to share with you. So Mom, Dad, thank you for being here.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good, good. Well, listen, I know when I first asked you if you would do this interview, you emphatically said yes. So I'm really grateful because it's one thing that I put myself out there. I'm on social media and I'm very public, and I have a very thick skin with that. But, you know, for you to choose to be on here and share yourself, I know it's a big deal. So I want to thank you for doing that. So thanks for being here. Why did you want to do it, Dad?
Why I want to do it? Because what happened to me with my sponsor family changed my life. I'll be 70 years old in 3 months. And without them, without the support, I would not be here. I'm not going to have the family I have. So yeah. I want the people to know it's something else out there we can do to help somebody.
Yeah, you know, Dad, in our life, we always knew this story, right? We always knew that you were sponsored as a little boy, and I don't think I actually appreciated it till later on in my life when I had kids, and then eventually trying to help these kids, I realized that our journey for the charity really started because of your story. And so I'm hoping that we can just start from here and say, okay, so what happened? Dad Papu, my grandfather, your father, passed away when you were 5 years old.
I born 1951 and 1956. At the beginning of 1956, my father died, and at that time, my mother was left with nothing because we not have nobody to help us, and it was very rough for us. And the priest of the town, with the mayor, the brother of the village, they knew we have hard time, me and my mother. And that time was a program, some families from another country, like my sponsor family, they was looking to help kids like they're not having the tools to survive.
Right.
And the priest of my town was in Greece, Psari, and the priest Papatassis and the mayor, they do the paperwork, and they go to a government department, I don't know what it was, and they push that to. Meantime, my sponsor family, they was looking in Greece to sponsor a child.
Right.
So
they were from Canada.
They were from Canada. They was living outside of Ottawa, in a small town. And like I said, the priest and the mayor of the town, they do all the paperwork, and at the end of that year, 1956, I have a sponsor family here in Canada.
And so with that,
sorry,
what would they, so they were a sponsor family, what would they do? Would they send money?
There was, first of all, we introduce each other, even though we don't talk or write letters directly, we do that through the government. And they would send me $21 every month. And also they would send me presents on Christmas, on Easter. And that started the end of 1956. They continue till I turned 18 years old.
Right. And so during that time, you said, like, for example, they gave $21 a month, and they gave presents and things like this. Like, I know that Mom had mentioned to me that they gave you like your first bike. Is that right?
They was sent me, first of all, they sent me $21. That time, $21 was like a lot of money.
Yeah.
That was, we're talking about 1956.
Right.
And when I turned, I think I turned 10 or 11, they sent me a bike. And
which is
I was so excited. They sent me the bike because the high school, I think it was 11 plus, I was 11 and a half. The high school, it was hour and a half walking, or you take the bus. But myself, I couldn't afford to take the bus. And I was walking hour and a half each way. And they sent me the bike, and I fell a few times because I never had a bike in my life.
Okay.
You have kids now, you know, when you learn to ride a bike, and but I was very excited.
How did you feel? Like you said, you were writing some letters back and forth, and it was through the governments, right? How did you, like, you know, it's one thing after like the first year or two, you're young, you don't know who these people are, you're getting some money to get helped out. But then as you're getting older, are you feeling like a connection to this person?
Absolutely, because we send pictures to each other. And more as the year was going by, I was getting more close. It was like, to me, it was like a family.
Right.
Even though we never meet each other, but we have a connection. I feel like we're a family.
Right.
And when I was 13, 14 years old, I left the town because those days, like in the town, I have nobody except my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how the kids are, you know, you're not having a father, you're not having a brother.
Sorry, is that the dog in the background, Dad?
Yes, that's
okay.
my dog.
Okay. Sorry. So you're saying you don't, no, just because we hear, it's okay. So you were saying that you left the town because you didn't have a dad, and were you being judged?
It was, people was,
Mean.
it was mean to me, and I'm not having nobody to support me there, nobody to be on my side. I have relatives. I have two uncles. I wish I never had them, by the way.
Yeah, they weren't very nice to you.
No, it wasn't very nice, not at all. I don't want to go into details.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, the priest and the mayor, they worked to go to, not to go to orphan place.
They put you to an orphan.
They put me in the orphan place, and there I got in a technical school, supposed to go to technical school to be like a electrician or plumber, or, you know, to learn something. I learned how to fix, the school I chose was to fix refrigerators. But that, it was, I don't know how the prison looks like, but it was like a prison there. And I couldn't stand it. Like for I will give an example, they have concrete walls, it was 3 meters high. And you cannot go out, you cannot go nowhere. You had to go in bed, say 10 o'clock in the night, you have to get up 6 o'clock. It was like worse than the army, worse than the prison. So I couldn't stand there. And 6 months later, I somehow escaped the orphans place / prison.
Mm.
And I was living here and there.
So are you still now getting support from the sponsor?
Right now?
At that point, no, not now, but of course not now.
Yes, they keep supporting me.
So how are you getting that support? So you're at
Yeah, they was going to my town.
Okay.
Okay, they was going to my town, and actually sometimes, like actually most from the times when I left the orphan place, the most from the times I would help my mother with that $21. I would help my mother too,
Yeah.
because she didn't have any income. For me, somehow I knew I could survive.
Right.
So I tried to help my mother. A lot of times, most of the times, I left the money to her.
Right.
And then now the policy, the Greek government is on the Child 2018.
Mm-hmm.
This program stops.
Right.
No, if they want to, if they want to continue to help, they can help another child. But meantime, we establish a relationship.
I mean, yeah, after now you're talking from 5 years old till 18,
13 right.
years.
And the government at that time, they stopped it, and then I used to call him my foster father,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and somehow, I don't know how, even now, these days, I don't know, he found my address. And he started, continued to help me, send me letters directly to my mother's house. But now I was not understand English, they would not understand Greek.
Right. So the story then goes into he found a family outside of Ottawa that was Greek, a young Greek family or with young kids, and they were helping to translate these letters, right?
He was living in a small town outside of Ottawa. It was a Greek family there on a restaurant.
Right.
And this family, they have 5 kids, or young adults. And the youngest one, it was a young lady. That time when I was 18, she was 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And she was going to the high school when he was a teacher.
Right. So she was learning English, and then she was learning how to translate these letters for him so he could be in touch with you. Is that right?
He asked her to translate the letters.
So this is now at 19 or 18, 19. You're now connected, not through the government anymore, but he still wants, because you've now been in each other's lives, he wants to be a constant in your life, and you continue this.
We continue, and the thing is that now I'm 18 years old. The most important for me, because when I turned 18, like I said, I didn't have nobody. My mother, she was in the town, and the most important thing was for me, I knew somebody somewhere cared about me, because sometimes it's good. The money they were sending me was great. It was big help, but also to know that some people care about you, that was very important also.
Yeah, especially since you had bad experiences with older relatives of yours, and you didn't have a father figure at all. So you didn't even learn things that other people were learning, other kids were learning, was how to do things, right? So
exactly.
Here was a man you didn't personally know, but now you felt this connection 8,000 kilometers away, and you felt a real strong connection with him.
Like I said, I knew it was somebody
that cared
about me, and anyway, the years passed by. I turned 19 plus, and then I went to the army for 1 year, because in Greece, Metador go to the army.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, those $21, actually now he was started sending me some more money, a little bit more. And sorry to say, now I'm not anymore a smoker, but at that time I was a smoker.
Yeah.
And that money was to buy cigarettes, and I was in the army, because in the Greek army you don't get paid.
Right.
It's mandatory to go to the army, but you don't get paid. So that was big help even when I was 20.
Right.
I came out from the army and I worked for 6 months in a hospital in Athens, and then they asked me if I want to kind of visit them.
So the sponsor says to you, listen, we want to meet you now.
Exactly.
And is it your first time? So you come to Canada.
Well, I discussed with my mother.
Right.
From one side, she was happy, the other side, it was sad.
Of course.
That his son lives, you know. But he said, I give my blessing, go, you know,
Right.
because, like I said, I had a very rough life there. And here I'm coming Canada, October 13, 1973.
So October 13th, 1973. So it's the first time you get on a plane, is that right?
First time I leave the country. First time I went on the plane.
So first time you get on a plane, you land in Canada, you don't speak any English, really.
Not at all.
Not at all. Somehow, I guess I remember you saying there was some issue with immigration and you not speaking English. But you finally come through. And there is, I know, waiting for you is 3 people. Is that right?
I came like you say, it was some issue with immigration because,
right.
You know, when you go to another country, they ask you questions, and I was still a kid, you know, 20-year-old, and I was scared.
Yeah.
Even though I answered the question, but when they see in your eyes that you are scared, they think you lie.
Right.
So they keep.
Oh, you came legally. It was all fine.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny because you're my dad, and it makes sense that you would have issues somewhere. So anyway, but you get through immigration, and who do you see, Dad? You see your sponsor.
My sponsor father.
You see who else?
I see the young lady who's translating the letters.
And that person was?
And her brother.
And her brother. And the young lady who was translating the letters was who? It was Mom.
This lady.
Even the dog's happy.
I came October 13, 1973, December the 9th, 1973, we got married.
You guys worked quick, Dad. You guys worked real quick. And you guys have been married how long now?
We're going to be 47 years and 3 months.
So this is, I know I've shared this story with a lot of people. And I remember the first event we had, we shared.
I remember that.
And I remember everybody we're on their feet and clapping and we're very emotional. I didn't realize at the time how powerful the story is and was, because I took it for granted. I think we all did, because it was just your life. Like, that's how it started. And to see how it affects so many people, because, you know, Dad.
Yeah, no, I'm getting emotional too.
That's okay. But, you know, there's so many stories like this that people come from poor situations. So many people who have donated and been around what we're doing have similar stories with their parents where they came from really humble beginnings and they got a new chance, and because of somebody opening up a door. For us, it's really special because it wasn't just that he sponsored you and supported you, but it's how you met Mom. And, you know, you have 2 kids, me and my brother, Dimitri, and you see, and I'll let you speak to it, just how it affected the rest of your life. So you come here, you marry Mom, and you're learning a completely new life. You don't know English. You're trying to figure yourself, you know, how to handle things. So tell us more about kind of the beginnings of that.
In the beginning, it was very tough.
Right.
Okay, it was very tough. First of all, I was not speaking English. It's a different lifestyle from what the lifestyle I have when I was in Greece, in Athens.
Right. Let's see your face a little more, Dad. Just move over.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah.
It was a little bit tough in the beginning, but
Well, what I wanted to,
on me and my your mother would fall in love and with the first time we put see each other and we start talking. I start feeling a little bit more. I was more comfortable in. You know, I knew.
because mom kind of got to know you through these letters, right? Right,
but
talk about that.
She knew me, but I don't know her.
Right. So, Mom, your teacher is the one who sponsored Dad.
That's true.
Right. So he asks you, let's get to that part of the story before we move ahead. So he asks you to help translate the letters?
Yes, before he asked me, he called me in his office. He took his wallet out and he showed me a picture.
Dad, move over a little bit so we can see you.
There he showed me a picture of a little boy.
Yeah.
And he said to me that this little boy is an orphan.
It's okay, Mom.
And if it'd be okay with me to translate the letters for him, and without hesitation, I said yes. I've never seen another picture of your dad. That was the first picture, and the first time that I lay my eyes on your dad was the day of his arrival to Montreal. Just look at him, he looked at me, and at that moment, I guess, I don't know if people believe this, Vula, or that I thought inside of my heart that he was my other half.
I believe it.
And the rest, I guess, it's history. We've been blessed with two beautiful children, you and Dimitri, a wonderful, wonderful son-in-law, 3 grandchildren. I mean, there's nothing else we can ask for. Whoever thought that a young girl growing up in Canada and a young man in Greece that they will meet through a sponsor, get married, been married after 47 years. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
And you know, the thing it is, when I was in Greece, even before I came to Canada, I was just worried about today.
Can you move over a little bit? We can't see you. There we go. Stay there. Yeah.
Before I came to Canada, even when I was 19, 20 years old, I was thinking about today. I didn't have any dreams for tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it was just to survive today. So when I came in Canada and they bring me to Canada and I meet them and I meet your mother, even though it was in the beginning, it was a little bit rough, like I said earlier, but my life changed completely. It was changing.
How was it meeting your sponsor?
Oh, he came, it was unbelievable. He came in immigration in the airport with the album with pictures, maybe 200 pictures. I used to send him every.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
and
he showed the authorities there,
right,
who they are and who am I, you know. And it was a big, huge album with the pictures since I was 5, 6 years old, you know. And I never, even myself, I never remember those pictures, you know. And they was giving not only the pictures, but even the letters I used to send them.
That must have felt really good, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I said didn't took me too long. Yes, it was a little bit sad in the beginning, and it's a new lifestyle. You know, come the new car did not speak the language, and but didn't took too much time to change and appreciate my new life.
Right.
Also, Vula, his sponsor, I mean, he was a wonderful, wonderful man. He was there when we got married, beside your dad. He was there when Jimmy and you were born. He holds you in his arms. He would always visit. And, you know, sometimes you can say that things happen for a reason in life.
Mm.
I believe that his sponsor, that when he holds you in his arms, that his wish would be for you to continue his job.
Mm.
Because not only he had helped your dad, he also had helped 2 children in Vietnam. And he had a family of his own. So what you're doing, we're very proud of you. Continue doing and helping these kids, because these kids, we need to give them hope. We need them to dream and for their dreams to come true, like your father's dream came true.
You know, you don't realize that for me, I just said that my story, and if you are not, I live the story and I know what you're doing. So how appreciate it, how big it is for those kids, because I live that. I went through that.
Yeah.
You know, and I can see how those kids feel like back in Greece, what you're doing.
Last year, Bula, you had brought a young man from Greece, from Vari, Kostas. And I listened to his speech very, very carefully, and I was very much touched by what he said at the end. And if I remember correctly, he said, a kid like me needs to know that there's someone out there caring for me and love me. I don't think these kids ask for too much. We, as humans, we can put a little stone to build up their lives and for their dreams to come true. You know, that's what I
couldn't have said it any better, Ma. Wow. Do you want to start doing this?
You know, it's funny. I remember the first event you did. You show in the monitor of that a picture of me.
Yeah.
And a picture of my family here in Canada. Mm-hmm. And
yeah.
I got so emotional at that time. You know, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I still have it. I have it with me all the time, the picture of you.
Oh, is that right?
Sponsor. Yeah, I do. It reminds me of it took that one person to make the decision, and my brother and I wouldn't be here. Mom wouldn't be married to you.
I would not be around either.
Yeah, like who knows what kind of life you would have lived if you would still be around, because I know you had help from a sponsor. And this is one of the reasons I do what I do is,
right.
and Jim, my brother's involved, Tasso's involved, Zoe's involved, all the donors and everything. But from a personal perspective, I also know the darker side of, you know, your life and the things that you went through and the hardships you went through, that even though somebody was giving money, say, you still didn't have a father figure there. You didn't have the psychological support there. And so the kids that we support, one of the big things we've looked for was, do they have the psychological help? Because the trauma that a child goes through affects the rest of their life. It affects them as an adult, as a parent, and you have to work through that. And so I know it was hard for you, even though you did get sponsorship, which was amazing because it made life easier, but it didn't necessarily make life easy.
Exactly. That's what I was saying to you. The money was big help for me, but the bigger help is when I know I have somebody somewhere.
Right. And you did. And you came here.
Exactly. Like I said, in the town I was born in Psari. I have 2 uncles, and one beat me with a cane, the other one break my leg. So that kind of relatives I have. Yeah,
it's. I remember hearing these stories. It's tough to hear it. It's not right. It's hard to swallow. That even the fact that you made it through, God willing, that you got through this life. And then, you look back now, you're turning 70 and you say, you can actually literally look back and say, that's the point that my life changed.
Absolutely. Like I
Right.
said, my life changed. Like before I came in Canada, like I said, I will never have any dreams for tomorrow. I just worry about for today's day.
Just to survive.
Exactly. So when I came in Canada and I married you to your mother, like I said, less than 2 months after I arrived here.
And she was I'm going to put a picture up too. Both of you were like movie stars.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll let people see that, but you guys looked really good. You look great now.
Oh,
Which,
thank you.
by the way, thank you for my white hair.
We keep arguing about your white hair. I say diet, and you say no, Dad, I like
I'm not dying it, Dad. I'm not dying it. So I wanted to share this because I think that it's such a great way to show people the future. Like, this is what the generosity looks like when you give now. It's hard to measure it with these kids. Are our donors going to follow them for the next 50 years? No.
And those kids would like your help. And I know you went a few times in Greece. You went almost every year in Greece to meet and talk to them. They're never going to forget what you're doing, and what all those people they support you to do that. Here in Canada, I mean, those kids, they're never going to forget you guys, all of you.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to remember the rest of their lives.
Yeah, as long as it helps them, that's what matters. I know that when we started this, I didn't think it was going to be big. I just thought, okay, let's try for 1 year. And then because of your story, that one event, people really connected and they said, this is very different. The motivation behind this group and why they're doing this to help these kids is very, very different than what they had felt before. And I wanted again to show you and Mom and show how personal it is to us. It's very personal. And we have new supporters and new donors that don't know about, a little bit more and on a deeper level, why we do what we do, because it's a family commitment. We're all involved in it. All of us in one way or another. You guys are, my brother is, my kids, my husband. And then we've got, of course, Tasso and Zoe, but the larger community, and not just Greek community. We've had so many non-Greek donors, which speaks so much to your sponsor, who wasn't Greek, had nothing to do with Greece, and he decided to help a Greek boy. And we have a lot of those donors too. So this isn't about Greek or not. It's about kids. It's about a human cause, and children who, like you said, Mom, they deserve it. They don't, my kids are no different than these kids.
Well, as I said before, these kids need hope. Hope is a big word. So this way they can build up their lives and they can build up their dreams. When children know that there's somewhere out there, even so far away as here we are in Canada, that there's people, there's a lot of people that care for them. They're not going to feel alone. They're always say there's somebody cares for me.
Yeah.
And what I would say to you, keep doing it. God bless you.
Thanks, Mom.
And have your head up high and continue your work. I think your dad's sponsor is smiling upon you, Lula.
Yeah, well, he affected my life, and I don't think he ever did that for that reason. I think he just wanted to help, but from that simple gesture of helping, there was a ripple effect into the next 70 years, because you see Jim, my brother, Dimitri, you see him and how well he's done, and you see us, and it's all because of him. We're blessed. We are very much blessed to have you in our lives. To have us.
Yeah.
We're blessed, Mom and Dad. You guys did real well.
Thank you.
Mom, you always say from a taxi driver and a waitress, this is what we built, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you did real
Exactly.
well. You did real well. Well, Mom and Dad, I thank you very much for being here. It means a lot to me because, like I said, you don't have to do this, and you did. And I know you're doing it from a really deep place to help me, to help the kids. So I appreciate you doing that. And I love you for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
And go ahead.
And God bless. What else I can say?
Thanks, Mom. Dad, did you want to
Keep
close
doing
off?
what you're doing, Bula.
Thanks, Mom. Did you want to say anything before we leave, Dad?
But you are part of my million dollar family.
Yeah.
You're
I
a
worth
million.
like about 900,000 of that.
Love
Okay.
you.
Love you
We
too.
love you, Bula. We
Okay.
love you. Take
Thanks
care.
for being with us. Bye. Say bye to everyone.
Bye.
Okay, bye.